When Jerry Yin and Tong Liya first stepped onto the set of Unforgettable Love in 2013, few could have predicted how complicated those early working days would become. On paper, it looked like a perfect pairing: Jerry Yin, already a household name with an enormous fan base, and Tong Liya, a rising actress known for her discipline, grace, and professionalism. But once filming began, reality proved far more intense than anyone expected. From the very first week of shooting, the atmosphere around the set was unusually crowded. Jerry Yan's popularity was at its peak, and wherever the production moved, fans followed in waves. They waited for hours, lined streets, surrounded filming locations, and gathered near barricades just to catch a glimpse of him. While this level of attention spoke volumes about Jerry Yan's star power, it also created challenges that quietly affected the cast and crew. Tong Liya, known for her focus and commitment to her craft, reportedly struggled with the constant interruptions. Scenes that required emotional concentration were repeatedly paused. Background noise, sudden cheers, camera flashes, and security concerns disrupted the rhythm of filming. For an actress who valued preparation and immersion, the environment became increasingly difficult to navigate. She remained professional in public, but behind the scenes, frustration slowly built. Crew members later recalled that filming schedules often had to be adjusted. Certain scenes were pushed to early mornings or late nights just to avoid crowds. Security presence increased, and directors had to work around the unpredictability of fan movements. While Jerry Yin handled the attention with experience, even he was said to feel the pressure of being the center of constant disruption. Tong Liya's discomfort was never explosive or dramatic. Instead, it manifested quietly. She kept to herself more between takes, spent longer periods rehearsing alone, and focused deeply on delivering her best performance despite the circumstances. Those close to the production noted that her annoyance was less about Jerry Yin himself and more about the environment his fame unintentionally created. What made the situation more complex was the contrast in their working styles. Jerry Yin, accustomed to fan-heavy sets, had learned to adapt. Tong Liya, still building her career at the time, was navigating a different reality, one where artistic focus clashed with celebrity chaos. Yet, despite these challenges, both actors remained respectful toward each other. There were no public arguments, no visible conflicts, and no official complaints that ever surfaced. As filming progressed, a mutual understanding slowly formed. The crew became more efficient at managing crowds, and both actors adjusted their expectations. Tong Liya found her rhythm, channeling her frustration into her performance, while Jerry Yin reportedly made efforts to ease tension on set by keeping interactions professional and light. Looking back now, those early working days reveal a lesser-seen side of celebrity collaborations. Behind the polished scenes and romantic storytelling was a set filled with logistical strain, emotional restraint, and quiet endurance. The experience became a learning moment for everyone involved, about fame, boundaries, and the unseen challenges actors face beyond the camera. Today, revisiting that period offers a deeper appreciation for Tong Liya's composure and Jerry Yan's ability to shoulder immense public attention. What once felt like quiet frustration has now become part of a shared history, one that shaped their growth as performers and added an unspoken layer of realism to their on-screen partnership. Sometimes, the most meaningful stories aren't found in dramatic confrontations, but in the silent moments actors endure to bring a story to life. And on the crowded set of Unforgettable Love, that truth was written quietly, scene by scene. As time passed and the drama moved closer to completion, the tension that once lingered on set began to soften into something more reflective. What initially felt like an obstacle slowly became a shared experience that both Jerry Yin and Tong Liya carried with them long after the cameras stopped rolling. The crowded locations, the halted takes, and the silent frustrations became part of a formative chapter in their careers, one that neither would publicly dwell on, but neither would forget. Industry insiders later noted that this project subtly changed how Tong Liya approached large-scale productions. After Unforgettable Love, she became more selective with scripts and more vocal, though still measured, about working conditions. She learned how to protect her focus without creating conflict, developing the calm authority that would later define her presence on set. That early experience taught her resilience, patience, and the ability to maintain artistic integrity even when circumstances were far from ideal. For Jerry Yin, the project reinforced the double-edged nature of fame. While fan support was a source of strength, it also carried responsibility. Reports suggested that he became more conscious of how his presence affected the overall production, taking extra steps to cooperate with security teams and minimize disruptions when possible. Those close to him observed a growing maturity in how he handled public attention, especially when working alongside co-stars who were still navigating the pressures of rising stardom. Despite the early frustrations, the final product showed none of the strain that existed behind the scenes. Viewers praised the chemistry, emotional depth, and sincerity of the performances. Few would have guessed that scenes requiring tenderness and emotional restraint were filmed amid noise, delays, and constant interruptions. That contrast between chaos off-camera and calm on-screen became a quiet testament to both actors' professionalism. Years later, fans revisiting Unforgettable Love began uncovering old interviews and behind-the-scenes anecdotes. What once seemed like simple rumors gained new context. Rather than fueling controversy, these stories sparked admiration. Audiences gained a deeper respect for Tong Liya's composure and Jerry Yan's endurance under relentless public attention. The narrative shifted from tension to growth, from frustration to understanding. Interestingly, when the two actors were later mentioned in the same breath, whether through industry events or retrospective articles, the tone was always respectful. There were no lingering resentments, no public shade, no attempts to rewrite the past. Instead, there was an unspoken acknowledgement that they had survived a challenging collaboration and emerged stronger because of it. The crowded set of Unforgettable Love became a reminder of a truth many fans overlook. Behind every polished drama lies a complex human experience. Fame can overwhelm, ambition can strain patience, and professionalism often means enduring discomfort quietly. Jerry Yan and Tong Liya's early working days captured all of that, not through scandal, but through silence. In the end, their story isn't about conflict. It's about two actors standing on different points of the same spotlight, learning how to share space, endure pressure, and deliver excellence despite circumstances beyond their control. And that quiet resilience, more than any rumor, is what truly defines their early working days together. With distance and time, the memory of those early days has taken on a different meaning for both actors and for fans who now look back with clearer eyes. What once felt like a difficult chapter is often reinterpreted as a turning point, one that shaped not only how Jerry Yan and Tong Liya worked, but how they were perceived within the industry. For Tong Liya, that period quietly marked her transition from a promising actress into a steady, respected professional. Colleagues who worked with her afterward noticed a new calm strength in her presence. She became known for setting clear boundaries without confrontation, for staying grounded even on large, chaotic productions. Many believe that the challenges she faced during Unforgettable Love helped build that inner discipline. She learned that sometimes the loudest pressures require the quietest resilience. Jerry Yan, on the other hand, continued to carry the weight of massive popularity wherever he went, but with greater awareness. The experience reinforced how his fame could unintentionally affect those around him. Over time, he became more intentional in interviews and public appearances, often emphasizing teamwork and respect for co-stars. Those who observed his later projects remarked on how carefully he navigated crowded sets, as if remembering how easily enthusiasm could turn into disruption. Interestingly, neither actor ever publicly framed the experience as negative. There were no interviews filled with complaints, no dramatic revelations years later. Instead, both allowed the work to speak for itself. This silence wasn't avoidance, it was maturity. In an industry where conflicts are often magnified for attention, their choice to move forward quietly stood out. As fans revisited old footage, subtle details began to stand out. The way Tong Liya stayed deeply focused between takes, the way Jerry Yan remained patient despite constant interruptions, the mutual respect visible in their interactions. These moments, once overlooked, became evidence of professionalism under pressure. The story shifted from one of quiet frustration to one of quiet strength. Newer audiences discovering Unforgettable Love years later often express surprise when they learn about the filming challenges. The performances feel too controlled, too emotionally grounded to have been created under such strain. That contrast only deepens appreciation. It reveals how much effort, restraint, and emotional control it takes to deliver convincing performances when conditions are far from ideal. In hindsight, the crowded set and quiet frustrations didn't weaken their collaboration. It tested it. And in passing that test without public conflict, Jerry Yin and Tong Liya demonstrated something rare: the ability to endure pressure without letting it define them. Their early working days became less about tension and more about growth, professionalism, and the unspoken lessons that stay with actors long after a project ends. Today, when their names are mentioned together, the conversation isn't about discomfort or disruption. It's about a shared chapter that shaped two careers in different ways. A reminder that behind every polished drama lies a story of endurance, and that sometimes the most powerful moments in an actor's journey happen far away from the spotlight, in the quiet spaces where patience is tested and character is formed.